What's up, guys? It's your boy Ruben. I'm back. I'm sorry it's been a long time. I kind of been out of commission, had a knee surgery. I'm on crutches, making a long story short. So these videos are obviously going to be far and few between. I appreciate any well wishes. Let's just dive right into it. NBA Finals, Phoenix Suns, Milwaukee Bucks. My partner in crime, Shane, had picked the Phoenix Suns before the series started to win in 6. I picked them in 7. I wish we'd have got this on camera, but unfortunately we didn't. But basically, he can dispute whatever on his own merits. So I'm gonna tell you exactly where we stand, and then tell you what I'm seeing. So he had the Suns in 6. I had him in 7. We've been going back and forth because, of course, the Suns won the first 2 games. I maintained that I think it was going to win 7. It was going to go 7. He started to say that he strongly wants to say it's going to go 5, but he never took that pivot, but he did suggest it, right? So we're going back and forth because I told him, yeah, I still think it's going to go 7 because Phoenix did what they were supposed to do. They defended home court. If you were watching the game, the role players weren't playing well. Giannis, only scored 20 the first game. If you were watching the game, you could tell you're not seeing the best of what Milwaukee has to offer, right? Which is why I felt like, okay, it's not ideal that they went down 2-0, but I still expect a dogfight of a series, which is why I picked it to go 7. I want to see Chris Paul get his ring, but ultimately what I'm seeing is, if I'm being quite honest, before I even get into that, right? So remember, Shane had him in 6, I had him in 7. So when they went up 2-0, I experienced what's called a Shayne-Ism, and hopefully as we grow as a channel, you'll start to see these Shayne-Isms, because I need to get more of our conversations on camera, and as you'll get to understand the dynamics of our relationship and our partnership, you'll understand what I mean by a Shayne-Ism. And by a Shayne-Ism is he likes to wait till he has the advantage and then really try to push a pressure point. And in this particular situation, when Phoenix went up 2-0, he was more of the mindset that this could end in 5 for Phoenix, right? Even though he picked them in 6. But he maintained his 6. He wanted to bet me money that it won't go 7, right? I refused that bet because it's a sucker bet. And if you, to define what a sucker bet is, it's basically we don't have even odds. Like, I'm taking a bet, we're betting, but the odds are heavily slanted in your favor. That's a Shayne-Ism, right? So I said, no, I called it in 7. I'm maintaining it in 7, but I'm not going to put money on it with the Suns having gone up 2-0. It's completely slanted in your favor. Like, why would I do that, right? So you'll get to know he's competitive for the sake of being competitive. Like, we both have the Suns. I don't even know what there is to compete about. But now he wants to prove that it's not going to go 7. So, he's calling me clown, dumb, whatever, that it won't go 7, right? So what happens now is, right, so because it won't go 7, he goes, well, bet me that the Bucks won't win the next 2 games. Again, I lose 1 game, I lose the bet. I have to win 2 games. That's a sucker bet. You know what I'm saying? It's completely slanted in his favor. So I said, okay, if you want to make a more even bet, let's bet it won't go 5, right? Because he started talking real heavy that this could end in 5. Let's bet that it won't go 5, right? That it'll go beyond 5. He didn't want to take that bet. When the Bucks won game 3, right, I told him to pray. Okay. We end up getting in an argument. I had to put him in timeout. I ain't talked to him all week, right? So hopefully we'll maybe get a video within the next week or so, because we got some things that we got to discuss. I need y'all to get his opinion on what's going on in the finals, right? So he didn't want to bet the 5. Okay, fine. Then he goes, well, when it goes 2-2, right? Keep in mind, now he's thinking it's going to go 2-2. Okay. even though he wanted to bet me. He says, if it goes 2-2, let's bet it won't go 7. And I said, I'm not going to take the bet. I said, no. Not that I'm not going to take the bet. I said, no. And he starts laughing. I said, no, no, no. You won't make that bet. He said, what? I said, I know you won't make that bet. Right? And let me tell you why you won't make that bet, because I just finished explaining to y'all what a sucker bet was, right? The reason he won't take that bet is if it goes 2-2, he picked them in 6. So on one hand, he'll get his prediction correct if the Suns win either way, right? But if it makes it 7, he'll get his prediction correct. He'll have to pay me, and then he'll still be wrong because it didn't go 6. You see what I'm saying? So at 2-2, if the Phoenix Suns lose one more game, it's already slanted in my favor. Like, he's already lost on the game 6, right? The only way to win in this scenario is for the Bucks to basically win the series, and that's why he wouldn't take the bet, because it was heavily slanted in my favor. It was literally almost the same bet from asking me to take the 7 when they were up 2-0. One more win makes him lose. See what I'm saying? So that's where we were at with that. And enough of the Shayne-Isms and explaining what that is. I'll let him explain what's going on himself. So with that being said, let's discuss why I think it's going to go 7 and what we're seeing. So last night, the Bucks went ahead and won the 3rd straight. If anything, right, I feel better about the 7 now, obviously, because the Bucks have won 3, so if the Suns win, it has to be in 7. But here's what we're seeing, guys. So the reason I picked them originally in 7 is because I honestly think the Bucks are the better team. They're the longer team. They're the more athletic team in terms of, well, you have a super freaking Giannis, obviously, right? And then you got Chris Middleton. You got like they have the better, in my opinion, like individual talents. Like as far as if you play 2K, think like you got a player and you're looking at all his attributes, right? Like who's better than who? Okay. On paper, the Milwaukee Bucks, to me, are the better team. And the reason for that is you got an aging Chris Paul. As much as I love Chris Paul and I want to see him get his ring, you got an aging Chris Paul, the point guard, right? I love me some Devin Booker. He's just had a couple 40-point back-to-back games. But what I see Milwaukee, they're the bigger team and they're the more athletic team, in my opinion, okay? I expected Giannis, once I saw that he was healthy, I expected Giannis to be a monster in this matchup. They have got nobody for Giannis, and if anything, I don't think they're playing correctly. The Bucks are the bigger team. They should bully the Phoenix Suns, and they actually don't. The reason I expect the Suns to win in 7 is because at the end of the day, they got, Chris Paul. I expect his mental fortitude to come through. I think they have the better coach and Monty Williams, and, Devin Booker, I think, is an ascending superstar. They have what it takes to win the series. I think at the end of the day, the home court advantage was going to swing their way. And I think the mentally weaker team is actually the Bucks, because you'll see Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday kind of disappear here and there. But one thing that doesn't disappear is Drew Holiday's defense. Chris Middleton, they need him for offense. But look at the team. Chris Paul's 6 feet tall. Devin Booker 6'5". The Bucks have 7-footer after 7-footer. Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, Giannis Antetokounmpo. And then they got, some of the best defenders in the league in Drew Holiday. Pat Connaughton's a very good defender. They have waves of people to, send at them that should bother their primary scorers, which happen to be, unfortunately, Chris Paul and Devin Booker. And they're the bigger team. So what you're seeing is Milwaukee Bucks owns them on the boards. In fact, I don't think they're doing it enough. They're a big team that tries to play finesse. When they want to play big, they'll win. If they continue to try to play big, the Bucks will actually win this series. But my thing is, I just don't think it's in their nature to keep that up. I think you're going to see a super focused Suns team. They're going to be playing like their life depends on it because their NBA life basically depends on the next game. So, and then Game 7's in Phoenix. So that's where I think the mental fortitude is going to come in. Who's going to be the team that chokes it away? And ultimately, I just trust Chris Paul with one game from my life, and that's why I picked the Phoenix Suns in 7. Like you know, like I said, the Bucks. I think they're the better team. They'll own them on the boards. I think they're the better 3-point shooting team as well. They just when they lose, it's usually due to Chris Middleton doesn't travel well. Typically doesn't travel well. Plays well at home, but he'll have games where he looks like a superstar, and then he'll have another game where he disappears. So that's where we're at with that. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. I think on Tuesday, I fully expect the Phoenix Suns to eke out a win. I don't expect it to be like a blowout or anything like that. I think it'll come down to the wire, and hopefully the Suns come through. And a lot of these games have come down. The last 2-3 games, I think. Well, no. When the Bucks won their first game in Game 3, it was like by 20. But the last 2 games, if you're watching the games, Phoenix had an opportunity to win both games. So I think you'll see more of that. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the channel. Please support your boy. We're gonna continue to try to grow this thing and continue to build a network so we can talk sports. You know, for us, by us, and what I mean by for us, by us, I'm talking about your average sports fan. This is our platform. All right. So help us build it. Appreciate y'all. Holla back.